plan everything. Also, notably, he did scry on their mulligan to 6 a bridge to the top, so his hand is looking nice. Does he also have a tap? Oh, jeez. Yeah, this is a great start for Tony.
Yep.
Letting him draw the Terminate. So we have a turn to Spellskite on Nick's side. I guess Nick is just playing this to protect the combo from Abrupt Decay.
I think so. I mean, you're not really doing anything else this turn. You kind of. And I think it looks like Nick is short on lands. So.
You could just try and mana screw him, but I don't think it's a great plan.
No.
Just let him have their lands.
Yeah, it's I think just more risky than
anything else.
Keeping them off of combo.
Interestingly enough, I don't think if I was, I think if you're Tony, you definitely just fire off this Ancient Stirrings and just get a land, and he's just gonna wait. Draws a land, gives Nick another land. Nick has 3 mana. He's just gonna pass. He has a Pestermite. He can just flash that in whenever.
And what else does Nick have in hand? Or Tony? Yeah,
Tony has Bridge, Surgical,
okay.
and Ancient
so
Stirrings.
I do like casting that Ancient Stirrings.
I think
I'm not
so.
really sure. I'm not sure that you're looking for anything that you know, in later turns that you wouldn't have been looking for there.
Yeah. All right, Nick playing Pestermite and tapping the Lantern as sort of a goof. I think if you're going to goof him, you might as well tap the card that actually does something with the tap, but it's okay.
Or a land.
No judgment. Yeah. Attack for 2. I think we're going to see Tony just snap off this and this follow this in a Surgical. Nick's going to shuffle in response. And this is where you want to use that shuffle. Like, this is how you play around getting Surgicaled out of a game.
And yeah, I mean, Tony has the Surgical.
Yeah, this is. I didn't think Nick managed his fetch lands very well in the first game, but this is a very good one.
Yes.
Interestingly, getting a Blood Crypt here. I'm a little surprised he didn't go for. I guess he needs a red source. I was gonna say I thought he was gonna get a basic to play around Blood Moon, but he's definitely gonna need a red source in play. Mills Island has Bolt on top. Let's see what Tony does here. He still just has the Bridge in his hand. He has Cage on top. Let's see if he decides to draw it or not. He does. Sees Blackleaf Cliffs.
I think Nick still should have just shocked, right?
Yeah.
So now, like, it's a little. That Bolt is a little awkward if Tony draws a Spellskite or something.
Mm-hmm. Tony gonna take 1 here. We'll see an Ancient Stirrings. He's going to get remanded. This is a very good remand here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it gets you a Bolt, which is not a huge get, but it assuredly. I mean,
they're better in multiples.
Yeah, they're better in multiples, and also that Tony can't recast it.
Mm-hmm.
This gets the remand out of his hand though, which is pretty big for.
And he has another shuffle for the.
A small misplay on Tony's part. What he could have done is he could have draw step. Activated that Shredder and stopped Nick from getting the shuffle. Like, if you want to stop him from comboing, then you want to just mill that right away.
Yeah, I mean, he's looking for the things he's looking to Surgical here are Snapcaster, Colligan's Command, Twin.
That's
what else? That's about it.
That's it.
Yeah.
I don't know. None of the other cards really matter.
Yeah.
Like Bolt at this point, like just because he has 2 of them, but like you could just fire them off at any point.
Yeah.
So we mill a Watery Grave, leaving Serum Visions on top. All right, let's see what Tony wants to do now. I think at this point you just got his hand. Actually, you know every card in his hand, so you can freely jam this Bridge. Tony is he gonna Stirrings?
It's a little greedy.
He has. You actually know every card. You saw him draw the Bolt. You saw him draw the Terminate, and you had Inquisition. Yeah. I think Tony's realizing it.
There we go.
You know it's gonna resolve.
Unless he hasn't really been keeping track. But
I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. Alright, so end step Bolt. Put Tony to 10. And now Nick's just full on hope I get out of this by drawing well. I think you definitely let Nick draw the Seer Visions.
Yeah,
the Scry doesn't matter.
Like, you only have 1 Codex Shredder.
Yeah, the Scry just doesn't matter. Like, the card, like, you can protect the next draw. Oh, is he going to draw step Surgical? He's deciding when he wants to Surgical here. It's either the Serum Visions to get a card out of his hand. You don't want to go for the Bolt. You know he has that, but yeah.
Okay, Serum Visions.
So this is a good play in the sense that it gets a card out of Nick's hand, but also it makes it so that you know that Nick has a fresh card on top of his library. I guess that doesn't matter. Never mind. Because you know he's not going to cast the Serum Visions.
Yeah, I don't hate this given that Tony already has. If he wasn't as close to like the full lock,
Yeah.
then I don't like this as much.
But it also gets a card out of his hand.
Yeah.
I think this puts him to 1 card.
Okay, then that seems great.
Yes. And if and that's very important here. Putting him to 1 card means that this Pestermite can't attack. Means this Bull is only going to put him to 5. There's an Explosives on top. That's definitely getting milled.
Yep.
3 1s. Yeah, I think where that's getting out of here. I think Nick is just going to have to pass here. Yep.
Oh, Shredder.
Nick gets milled. We see Remand on top. I feel like you're just going to let him draw that one.
Yeah, he should.
We draw a Ghost Quarter for the turn. He's going to pay 1 life with Llanowar Waste. Cast Ancient Stirrings.
So backup bridge, Spellskite, or another lantern. It looks like.
Have to imagine Spellskite's the take here.
I think so. Is that better than
Just backup bridge. I think both are good.
comparable?
Oh my god. I know he's at 7 life, sorry. Yeah, 0 power creatures are a big thing versus this deck. Stuff
Yes.
like Affinity and stuff like Noble Hierarch.
Amulet,
Amulet?
0/1 plants.
Oh, I mean, yeah, I think that's pretty. I think in general, Amulet's a very good matchup for the Lantern deck.
I think so.
But I mean, like, Affinity is a tough one.
Yep.
Burn is a very bad matchup. I think Zach Elsick said Burn was easily the worst matchup for the deck.
Seems reasonable.
All right, here's an Inquisition. I wonder if this is going to get remanded. Sure. And you just let him draw
Probably
Snap.
do.
Snapcaster's not even good here.
Yeah, and then we'll see. I guess you just cast the Snapcaster. Oh,
Oh.
no, he remanded the Inquisition.
All right, yeah, and he's just going to go Inquisition again. He has to tap another mana.
I guess.
I don't think it doesn't really matter.
I guess getting the bridge is a little better given that he has Terminate.
Yeah. All right, so there's a brick and a brick. I think this is where you just like start milling yourself looking for
Yes.
Academy Ruins. Yep. Or just like more good cards. Just draw that. Yeah, play. There's another Shredder. Yeah, like Shredder's
Yeah,
great.
more Shredders are great.
Yeah, Burn just absolutely destroys this deck from what I've been told.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Your version might have a worse time actually.
Yeah, having Nicodle.
Yeah, Nicado's actively bad.
Yeah. Oh, they get cut.
All right, so there's a tap on a Codex Shredder. Nick just drawing creatures here. I don't know if Nick has a way out of this.
I don't think so. And this, we're going to see this game speed up a lot. Third
Yeah.
bridge, sure.
You just take it, whatever.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize is a card that's going to get milled. There's another bridge. You can say go. Pestermite resolves. Yeah, Tony not even really paying much attention. I think at this point.
Yep.
He's going to mill his Thoughtseize. Sees another Lantern. Doesn't really matter. Anything you can cast, I think you just keep.
Yeah, I don't.
I think keeping Lantern is just fine.
Yeah. I guess there's no. I was going to say you could just mill it, but there's no real reason to. You're
No, I think Tony, slight misplay, probably should have milled himself in response to the Pestermite. Got you're missing a free card effectively. You're seeing. So. All right, Milgrim Lavamancer. That's a good one. Definitely going to mill that Kolagon's command. Like Tony basically needs to get as unlucky as possible. Nick needs to have like 6 cards in a row that are like
Yes.
necessarily milled.
And they're just. He might not even have. Well, he might not even have 6 total cards that are relevant in his deck anymore.
Yeah. This deck doesn't have that hard of a time with Ancient Grudge. It's more about stuff like Shatterstorm.
Yeah. Ancient Grudge is definitely
It's
Ancient
good.
Grudge buys time.
Yep.
But it's not the end all be all.
All right, so Nick is going to protect this lighthouse by fetching here. Fetching in response. Instead, we mill Keranos. Keranos would be a good one,
Yep.
but it's gone. Snapcaster Mage. Ambush Viper is fine. All right, and then Tony going to mill himself. Sees a Decay. I mean, Decay is a fine card. You can just play it. Yeah, he's wisely not taking any damage. Just gonna
Yep. Stay at 7.
yeah, just get your spells, guy. Don't even think about it. You can draw Snapcaster. It doesn't matter. There's another White House. Tony pretty firmly has this one locked up. Just looking for Academy runs at this point. Yeah, now we have 3 Shredders.
And another Shredder on top, looks like.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're just going to see the Turbo Mill plan at this point. Yeah, Milieu. These are good cards.
These are good cards.
That's not a good card. Yeah, another Shredder. This is, by the way, the sort of speed you need to play this deck with in order to compete. Yeah, I like this. This I like. Just straight mill 4, 2, 3, 4, and he also has Spellbomb and a pass. Nick gonna draw a land. This is a terminate. Tony just gonna activate 3 of them. Terminate gone. Exarch gone. So he's gonna try and save the bull. I think you're supposed to mill in response there.
I think so.
Is that what you're waiting for?
Given this is the end step, right?
Yeah. So like
So
because
I
he
think you are
had
supposed to
that
mill in
extra
response.
shredder up, you probably just milled that in
Yeah.
response. It doesn't really matter. Like he's gonna get 4.
Saving the Shredder, that's hilarious.
Yes.
Saving the Shredder doesn't really do anything
Nope.
if you let him get the shuffle.
Yes. All right. Tony gonna play Mox Opal Pass. You can have your 1/4. Doesn't do anything. It's a land. This is all elementary. Yeah, just quick mills.
I thought that wasn't on camera.
It was an accident. I'm not joking.
It kind of was an accident, yeah.
Tony. He's like, no, I don't want to draw this Thoughtseize. Mills himself. An Inquisition? Sure, whatever. Sees 3 creatures that are completely irrelevant. This deck is great.
Wisely taking the 1 power creature.
Man, if you could just like never play against Burn, how do you ever lose?
You can beat Burn. You play 4 Leylons in the board.
No,
I think Burn
you
can
play
beat
Leylands on the board.
Leylands.
The guy who top 8 said you should. You ought to.
And that's it. I don't think it's good enough. Just get a Tarkus commanded out.
Yeah, and like skull cracks.
Yeah, it does beat Skullcrack.
What? Oh yeah.
All right, and that's it. Lantern
Like, do you
taking
think-
that game down.
Do you think the Burn deck's not bringing in their destructive revelries?
Exactly. They're all going to be
They're gonna be
great.
there.
All those destructive revelries are going to be in the deck. Like, I'm sure there is a board plan that makes it so that Lantern has
There's a
Chance.
has a reasonable matchup against the against the burn deck. But I think in general, what we're going to end up seeing is you just get overwhelmed. So. What's going to happen is that the early creatures are a big deal because they're going to end up getting like somewhere between 4 and 8 damage in.
Like a turn 1 Wild Nicodle is almost definitely 6 damage.
Yeah,
In
that's-
this version, right?
Yeah,
Which is
and-
huge.
yeah,
Burn
it's
into whoever's
massive.
on the play.
Sure, I don't even think it. I think it's not even. I think it's
don't-
not even that close.
Yeah.
I think.
If you're
I
on-
think burn on the draw is still significantly favored against
Well,
Amulet. Maybe
Amulet?
post. Sorry, excuse me. Lantern.
So, burn on the draw is like 50-50. Burn on the play is like, you have like a 30% win rate, if even.
I'd say it's even lower
I'd
than
say
that.
so.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's
if you're on the
50-50.
if
Yes.
you're on the play, you actually have a good chance of locking them out before they can do anything.
Talking to him before
What is
the
locking?
tournament,
How do you?
He really did not want
No,
to play Burn.
I really
think it's
no.
that
You
bad.
have to have
I
four
think he
Leylines
got-
on the board. I play 4 Leylines.
I think he got very because I mean I don't know if anyone in the watched Zach Elsick's quarterfinal match against Jasper Johnson Epstein, but Jasper got incredibly unlucky.
Oh yeah.
I think he mulliganed to 4.
He also says specifically afterwards he should have been playing Leylines in his board for that.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like
Yeah,
you just need something
confidence.
like that.
Playing
Sundroplet is not
stuff.
powerful enough.
No.
Yeah.
Even if you have 4, like just you're gonna get Revelry, you're just gonna get Skullcrack with the trigger on the stack. Like so many things are just gonna stop you. I think playing Leyline is going to help you a lot, and it's probably gonna bring the matchup so that you're
It's definitely the right.
closer to
thing be
50-50
doing, I
post
think.
form. Yeah, I mean,
You
but
also just have to start nature claiming your own redundant shit.
yeah, absolutely. That's what Tron does.
Yep.
If you lose to a turn 2 on the Great Rumble.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, how do you ever beat that card? Do you ever beat that card?
Draw Abrupt Decay.
You Inquisition them on the play? Like,
Inquisition them on the play. Have
God.
Abrupt Decay.
yeah, I think that I think Grudge is a good card against Amulet that is eminently beatable.
Yes.
I saw almost every time Grudge was involved, Zach was boarding in Graph Digger's Cage. I think that was true at least.
And I think Mainly because I feel like most Ancient Grudge decks are also Snapcaster Mage decks.
Yeah, with the exception of like what Jund.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But even then, like, how many Grudge does John play?
I would say
One or two?
maximum 2.
Yeah.
Like, if you really
Maybe
want to
a
beat
Shadow
Affinity,
Storm.
you could play 3, but it's usually like 2 Grudge, a Shadow Storm, or 1 Grudge, a Shadow Storm, or something like that. But yeah, in any case, that was our round 2.
Yeah.
It's a sweet match. I don't have a list exactly of who else is doing great at this point. Not sure what other kind of decks we have here tonight. I know we have at least Jund. We have. You know what Nathan is playing tonight?
I do not. It's possible he's playing Mono Blue.
Oh dear. That deck is interesting.
It is interesting.
The mono blue deck is very. If Nathan is playing against a non-aggro deck, I kind of want to watch it work.
I could be down with that.
I like watching that deck go. Matt Barbuccio is playing 4-color gifts.
Yep. I
Which
would
is,
like to see that deck.
the deck's always a delight.
Wonder how he's doing.
I'm curious. I know. I'm sure Joe Chaney is playing Burn.
Almost certainly.
Nick Paris is probably playing Grixis. Oh, he might play.
He could be playing Amulet.
Yeah, he might actually have finished his Amulet deck.
He was playing it last week.
Amulet's sweet. Amulet is actually the deck I am most considering for Grand Prix Pittsburgh.
Okay. I think the deck's very good.
I think it's great. I think it's like very, very good.
Yeah.
Not only do I think it's very, very good, I think it's just like people.
It is savagely underplayed.
Yeah, it's just like so good. Like,
Like-
why are people not playing that deck?
Like
Just
we have
ridiculous.
like at most one Amulet player here,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's always going to be, I think, underplayed in a sort of like it's always going to be a sort of niche deck, right?
Yes.
And in that sense, it's generally going to be underplayed in something like a local metagame. But even in like bigger tournaments, I rarely see it.
Yep.
And it's just so good. Like I know Jarvis Yu.
Like how many times have you actually played against Amulet?
Probably 2.
I played it against Amulet 2 times.
I think actually maybe even once. I died on turn. No, well I got twice.
Oh, yep.
One of my this is called story time with Phil right here.
We got some time.
The first time I played against Amulet, this is the second. The first time I played against Amulet, it was in a PTQ, and I think I was not playing for top 8, but I was EXO at the PTQ. I was playing to draw in.
Okay.
I was playing to draw into this PTQ top 8, and I lost to Amulet. And that was rough. I was playing a deck that I thought had a reasonable match. I was playing blue red aggro. The second time I played against Amulet was when Treasure Cruise and Dig Through Time were legal. And there was a preliminary Pro Tour qualifier in the Chicago area, modern format, which is back when they did it by just whatever format you wanted to do, instead of it being like the next format of the RPTQ. So it was modern, and I wanted to try out Josh Arterlayton's Jeskai Ascendancy combo deck. For those who don't remember the deck, it was basically blue white red it was Jeskai Ascendancy combo, but it only played Fate Stitcher and Fairy Conclave. And you would just win. You would like Remand, Bolts, Paths, Is It Charms, and you just and a million Delve spells.
Yep. What was it? 4 Dig Through Time, 2 Treasure Cruise or something?
No, 4 Cruise.
Right. Because of because this guy said this.
Because it was legal.
Yeah.
4
Cruise
Cruise,
is
2 Dig, I think was the numbers in that deck.
That sounds about right.
Thought Scours, like just 4 Thought Scour, 4 Sabers, 4 Probe. The deck was amazing. I went to the finals, losing, I think, 1 match in the process against a pod deck where I played horribly. And sideboarded horribly. I beat the same pod player in the top 8. In finals, I played against one Steven Speck. In that final, he killed me game 1, pretty straightforwardly, nothing crazy. He was playing Amulet, he was on the play. It was that simple. Game 2, I killed him pretty simply. I just killed him on turn 3. Or turn 4, I think, maybe. I just, counter 2 spells. I did not play Wind Zendikon in my deck. I might have played 1. No, I think I played 0. Game 3, Spec was saying that he had gotten a couple turn 1 kills that day. And I was like, wow, that sucks. Don't turn 1 me. So he turn 1s me. We shuffle up our decks, and he just opens his hand and flops it on the table. And it's, Simian Spirit Guide, Amulet of Vigor, Simic Growth Chamber, Hive Mind, Summoner's Pact. It's only 5 distinct cards. Not much of a shock that he was banned for cheating pretty shortly after that. I did not, by the way, for those wondering, get a pity invite. I didn't get one. It was very sad.
Did you
for
ask
me.
about a pity invite?
I think I might have tweeted at Helene. I don't remember, honestly. I think I said I was going to and then just didn't.
Yeah.
But yeah, that felt great. Now I think I know how Pascal Menard feels. At least it wasn't for a Grand Prix top 8. You know,
Yes.
at least it was smaller stakes, right?
That's still important.
Oh, it felt so terrible.
Yeah.
It was so bad. I mean, I felt bad when it happened, but I felt way worse when I found out that he got banned for cheating. That was, it was real upsetting. Feel free to hate that guy. He's a scummy cheater. I have no interest in associating with him ever again. Not that I ever associated with him before, besides playing against him once and losing. But yeah. Get him out of here. Done with cheaters. In any case, that was a fun moment for me. And that's like, but like, I just never play against Amulet. I just never play against it in any of these.
Nobody plays it.
I played against it on Moto the other day.
Sure.
I believe I won. I don't remember. Yeah, I was playing Sun Titan. Oh no, I think I punted. One of the two. But like people play it more, as always. I think Magic Online is like people are much more likely to play those sort of decks.
Yeah.
Whatever. Besides all this, I think that Amulet is just a very, very powerful deck that is just still like underappreciated in Modern for how ridiculous it is. It has some wonky draws. It has some draws that look embarrassing, like just so bad, just like 4 bounce lands,
Yeah.
a Primeval Titan and a Hive Mind and like a pack. And you're like, what do I do? Like the ones where you just like don't have don't have a land that isn't a bounce land or something like that. It's just so miserable. But it does a lot of powerful stuff. It is I think one of the premier combo decks of the format.
And
While boasting a good Jund matchup.
yeah, good Jund matchup, and can just play through
So much
a lot
disruption.
of interaction.
Anything short of Blood Moon.
Yeah, basically that.
Yeah, not really beating Blood Moon in my opinion. You can beat a lot of other things, just because of the power of stuff like finding Cavern of Souls, Pact of Negation, stuff like that. I saw Alexander Hayne beat 3 Blood Moons out. He just had both of his forests, and he eventually Vesuva'd an island, and then cast Hive Mind with triple Pact.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, he was just like Hive Mind, and there's like negate. He's like Pact it. He's like negate. He's like Pact it. He's like, all right, Summoner's Pact, and they're just like, what did I do wrong? Like, what happened? He had a Primeval Titan in play that he just could never attack with or something like that. It was so funny.
Hilarious.
But yeah. In any case, I think our round is about set. I want to go out there and see if we can get a match going.
Yeah.
All right. Hopefully people are done. It seems like it.
Should be done.
Yeah. Looks like I think we have one match left.
Okay. Alright, so one match left. It's true, Ghost Quarter is quite good against the deck. Alright. Anything you guys particularly want to see, in the next 2 rounds? We usually have, usually a good selection of decks. Oh yeah, Teferi's response is they don't horribly inelegant. They don't make cards like they used to. Let's go ahead and bring up Teferi. For those who don't know, Teferi's response is a very hateful magic card. It was printed to like as a reaction to you, like Richardson Port. Boom. Counter target spell or ability an opponent controls that targets a land you control. Yeah. So they port your land, you Richardson Port, or they port your land, you response, blow up their port, and draw 2 cards. Yeah, I see some sideboard play nowadays. One of in, I don't know. I think Infect sometimes plays one, but yeah, it's very, very narrow. Black-white tokens it's definitely good against a lot of the fair strategies in Modern. It's just kind of not like, I was going to say it's not really anything like special, but the deck has a lot of disruption between paths and discard spells, and your tokens are actually just very good in a lot of matchups. Like, a lot of decks don't really have sweepers, so you play against a lot of decks that are just, like I've bolted a lot of, spirit tokens playing against, black-white out of like Delver or something, right? Like, how do they, you just cast Lingering Souls and make your guys 2/2s. And then kill your opponent. Yeah, in fact, it just like can't beat a Lingering Souls. Blighted Agent obviously is a card, but yeah, you're just 1/1 flying creatures are very good in a lot of matchups, namely Infect, Affinity. You also have a lot of blockers against Burn. Yeah, Dark Blast, yeah. Infect can't really beat a Dark Blast. We probably have some Scape Shift players in the house tonight. Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Phil's out there looking for a match right now, kind of scoping it out. But we'll see how, where we're shaping up. Phil is definitely a fan of Scape Shift, so it's possible we get it to this round. The black, I think the matchup is fine. Between black-white tokens and Burn, it's really just black-white has a lot of tools, namely like Inquisition. Inquisition is very good, and you have a lot of hate out of the board. Your tokens give you a lot of time, as far as like Burn's the games where Burn has a 1 or 2 drop creature that gets in for multiple attacks.
Sorry about that. I was gonna put Paul Green on camera, but he was playing against Teferi's response.
Yep.
Paul was playing against Kyle, who we've already seen. Okay. So we hopefully, if Paul wins, we'll put him on camera next round. He's playing a 5-color Delver Zoo. Tribal Zoo.
5-color Delver.
5-color Delver Tribal Zoo.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right, well,
I believe
so
I
who do we have this round?
called it a steaming pile. We have Eric Millington and Drew Wallenstein.
Drew Wallenstein.
My camera.
No.
Why me? Okay, wait. Are you gonna go run and try and fix it? All right. Just this way. Counterclockwise.
Okay.
Get this all set up. Drew is on a pretty interesting deck. I'm pretty sure I would describe it as mono green aggro, which might end up making this a bit of a blowout as far as Eric's deck is concerned. Eric is on the right. He is a sometime commentator here for us at MTG Card Market Live.
How's it?
Good. But Drew's deck seems sweet.
Drew's deck is sweet.
Have you played against him before?
Yeah, actually, I guess 2 weeks ago.
Oh, I think
played
were
him.
you on camera? I don't remember.
Might have been. If we were, it was for like a game 3 or something.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, Drew's deck is crazy. I know there are Dungrove Elders.
There
which
are
is-
Dungrove Elders.
Oh, old Dungrover Cleveland coming in. I'm a fan of Dungrove Elder, excuse me. The card's just it was delightful at all times.
Yeah, it's very large.
It certainly can get very large. It was much better in standard when you could like cast one and then next turn Zenith for one
Yep.
and then next turn like Zenith for another or something. It's just such a quick clock. Or at least it can be.
And yeah, just especially hard to interact with in Modern, where people are incentivized to
Not play edicts.
Yeah, not play edicts.
Oh geez, that hand is great. Is that an Ichor Claw Mirror? It was.
Like it.
Ichor Claw Mirror, not often seen in these Infect decks.
I've seen it out of the board, but
I think more often I've seen just like Necropede. I know I've seen
or
it.
Necropede. I
Necropede
guess
too.
Necropede, Yeah.
All right, so Drew just gonna oblige us with turn 1 Forest Pass. We are gonna need the poison counter, and we're gonna see Wooded Foothills go. So I think it's interesting that Eric led on that. He could have led on Nexus to try and get in some damage.
I think
Ooh.
I like that. I guess, your opponent leads on basic forest. I don't think you playing a Nexus is going to inform their turn 2 very much.
No, I don't think so either. So I don't think it matters a ton.
Yeah.
All right, turn 2 Strangleroot Geist to you.
It is, it is reasonable to just not want to take the damage. If
Do I-
you're going to be casting an Ichor Claw Mirror this turn.
Yeah. Will, I think that Tokens is a fine deck. I think Tokens is, like, very solid against other fair decks.
Yeah.
But, like, struggles mightily against a lot of unfair decks. Stuff like Scape Shift, Tron. Oh, I don't think you ever beat Tron.
just have to play
Twin
some
you're
Ghost
fine
Wars.
against. Even then. But, like,
Yeah.
your mana's not good enough.
Yeah, that's
Spectral
true.
Procession.
Oh, yeah.
I think like Tron's a rough matchup. I think that basically a lot of the combo decks are not easy to fight through. I will say, Undying is good against this. This is not. Sorry, I confuse Undying with
Persist.
Persist a lot of times.
Yeah. Undying is very good against this.
Oh man, Drew has no fear. Attack
Yep.
for 2. Eric does have the kill next turn. I'm pretty sure.
Did
Leatherback Baloth. Leatherback Baloth.
So we should. Eric should. He took 2 from the Strangleroot guys
He
last
should.
turn.
I have the life
and
totals messed
fetched
up.
Once.
He should be at
15.
yes.
And Drew with his pain-free mana base, making it easy.
Okay, but Eric does have him on a 2-turn clock. He's going to go Might of Old, activate Inkmoth Nexus, Might of Old Corrosive for +4/+4, and attack. So that's going to immediately put him at 5 poison.
So unless, it's looking pretty good for Eric.
I don't know if Drew can kill. I don't think Drew's going to be able to kill him this turn. That's what he needs to do. He
The
needs to
only
stop
real
him.
interaction he could have is Vines or Beast Within, as far as like not dying next turn. But
Yeah, I think I can see you being completely fine against Twin. I can see getting Blood Moon as like the one way you just end up losing that matchup for black-white tokens. But you're very good against any Jund deck. You're good against most other, almost like basically every fair blue deck,
Yep.
with the exception of someone like randomly like not letting you resolve an Anthem and Staticastering you or something. I'd imagine that you'd have a tough time maybe against like Abzan Company. Maybe I'm wrong about that. That's not a deck I would really game around though.
yeah, I don't think so.
I think the big mana decks are very tough matchups.
Yeah.
Big mana decks, Scape Shift, like stuff where you discard, like you need just more than discard spells, basically.
Yeah.
All right,
Basically, decks where your matchups where your like paths aren't good.
yes. So I think like maybe you can beat Amulet in that sense, but Eric drawing the Insurance Spell Pierce here, which means I guess you just need the land because he already had Vines. So we're gonna see Animate, Might, 5 ya.
Boom.
And that's it. I love the game 1 handshake. And we're going to go to game 2 here.
Also, it looks like Eric was at 11 that whole time.
Oh, I think I must have missed an attack.
Very helpful leaving that from there.
I appreciate it. I think he's just doing us a solid. Yeah, I know that
I just don't think... I hate Collecting Company. I just think that card and deck are bad.
I just won't do it.
Yeah.
You can't make me do it. I refuse. Basically, is what it comes down to.
Yep.
I'm just not interested. I like a lot of the goofy Collecting Company decks. I don't like the more boring ones.
Yeah.
I want to play Scape Shift again. I want to bring to light some Scape Shifts. I put a list together.
Shapeshift is a deck that I've thought about putting together.
It's just like it's just sweet.
Yeah, it's... I mean...
You actually get to play Cryptic Command in your deck.
Yeah. Like, it's more of a... Like, so I guess, like, I'm a pretty polarized player. I don't really like play these mid-range decks. I either play, like, just aggro decks or just the dirtiest of control decks.
Yeah,
It's
you're
appealing.
You are very
Yeah.
polarized in that sense. And yeah, even and we both fall sort of similarly in Legacy, where we just only want to play decks that kill our opponent.
Yep.
Legacy I've never been. I played one time in my life. I played a very grindy deck in Legacy. I did really enjoy it, but you played 4 day 3 times in that deck.
Yeah.
So it felt like an unfair deck.
Yeah.
I think what matters there. I don't think we're going to have a very long match here between these two players.
I don't think so.
Infect is so brutal, man. Infect just it just kills you. Kills you right dead.
Yeah, it's very...
It's punishing, man.
Yeah, it's very punishing.
Like, what makes Infect very appealing is it has one of the fastest goldfishes in the format, and it can do it with backup. It can do it through disruption a lot of times. It can be pretty redundant. It can be redundant sometimes. A lot of times, however, actually, I'm gonna say it's rarely redundant. I'm gonna take that back. I think the issue is that you can have these hands that just don't do anything.
Yeah. Also, like, you play against the one guy who's got, like, a main deck Spellskite, and you're just like, well...
Where am I Twisted Image? Hope I played Twisted Image today. Alex Barris is a guy that plays a lot of Infect here, and I think he's playing quite a few Twisted Images. Burn is definitely not the cheapest deck in Modern. Not anymore.
Nope. Drew's deck is close, probably. I don't know how much Thrun is, or Dungrove Elder.
Oh, I bet Drew's deck is very cheap. I think the cheapest... most competitive deck you could put together is maybe something like Ad Nauseam. That's certainly the cheapest deck on Magic Online. My deck.
Mm-hmm.
My deck is insanely cheap. Sorry, I hate calling it my deck because it's not my deck. The blue-white control deck that we saw earlier, blue-white control can be very cheap. You don't need to play like the blue-white Sun Titan deck is exceptionally cheap.
Like, you don't play Cryptics, really, right?
Nope, none. Play no Cryptics. You can play Jace if you want. It's not very
play
good.
Snapcaster if you want.
I played one. The last time I put the deck
It's
together.
like hard not to, but you're really not a 4 Snapcaster Mage deck.
No, that's the thing. You don't need to play Snapcaster in your deck, which is a big deal. The most expensive card in the deck, when I looked at it, was Flooded Strand. The next most expensive card was Hallowed Fountain. And I think after that it was Path to Exile or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. Like,
So not expensive.
no,
at all.
exceptionally cheap deck. That's honestly half the reason I put it together. I just looked at the list and I'm like, all right, this is a bunch of commons and Sun Titans.
Yep.
Sun Titan's a $2 card. Nope, no Serum Visions, none of that.
I actually, when I first started playing Modern, I had this mono green deck built.
Oh, really?
I had, like, mono blue Tron and mono green, and the only things I had to buy for the deck were chokes and 1 Thrun. And I might have needed like 2 more beasts with it,
Or something, yeah.
random.
A
but-
Dismember.
Yeah.
A lot of these aggro decks you can end up putting together for relatively cheap. These like more straightforward aggro decks. Those cards under 700 is definitely quote cheap, but
Quote, unquote,
I mean, no,
cheap.
Modern is not a. I mean, Magic in its
not a
heart,
cheap game.
Yeah, Magic is an expensive game to play at all, which is I would say comfortably one of the worst things about it.
Which honestly, most hobbies are expensive.
Yes,
This is the guy who won the final.
that's true. Look, man, we're not all rich. But yeah, things that avoid Goyf and Snapcaster Mage are probably what you want
Yes.
to look for. Is the Amulet deck that? No, sorry, not the Amulet. The Lantern deck. I guess the Glimmer Void of Mox Opals are not cheap.
Yeah,
Moxel was an
but
expensive Magic
not
card.
insane. I mean, Black Cleat Cliffs is what, like $20
Yeah.
or something.
I would say that Blue White Titan is a fun tier 2 deck. I think it's very good against other fair decks. Sorry, I think it's fine against other fair decks and very poor against Twin. It's cheap, you know? It's cheap, it's fun. I can't really say much more than that. I will say, I feel like the Infect deck mulligans a ton.
I think so, and I think you kind of have to.
Burn is cheaper relative to the rest of Legacy.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Experiment 1,
Oh yeah.
Human Mutant Ooze or something like that.
Something like that.
Eric's got turn 1 Noble Havoc, though. I like Eric's turn 1 play a little bit more than Drew's.
I don't know. We're gonna see a strength. Oh, no second land.
Rancor. Attack for 3. So looks like Drew kept a 1-lander here. A little dicey. Hopefully, I think he's just hoping that Eric doesn't have an Infector. I don't think he does.
Yeah, I don't think.
I think he has second Noble Hierarch.
Noble Hierarch.
Attack for 2?
All right. Well.
Are we
might as
doing it?
well.
Oh yeah. Fair mode over here.
And so a little awkward, but due to Rancor on this experiment 1, he's not going to get to evolve it if he draws the second land for Strangleroot.
No, it is. Oh wow, Strangler Guy specifically.
There's one
Yeah,
toughness.
1 toughness. He needs it to die
Yes.
in order to get any sort of value off of it. So we see Strangler Geist and an attack for 5. The winner.
Drop that. Drop it. Drop that note.
God, this
Something
is
to talk
beautiful.
about if it gets dead.
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about that.
Yeah, we can talk about that.
All right,
Come on, you gotta sell yourself. In more ways.
for sure. Eric going to 12 from this attack here.
Yeah, like this mono green deck can.
Provide a very
It's got
fast
a lot
lock.
of. It is all efficient creatures.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're scaling up pretty
Yeah.
scarily. Experiment 1 is going to start as a 1/1, but
You know, we see a card like he has Avatar of the Resolute in his hand.
oh yeah, card can be huge. It's not
Can
going to
be huge.
It probably won't be huge
If
here.
his Strangleroot Geist were to die this turn, it would be huge.
I like that Eric is insisting on attacking here, even though he has drawn a Glistener Elf. All right. Question is, does Drew have interaction? He's going to need either a way to kill Eric very soon, because this is next turn without casting a spell. This is an attack for 4 infect, 4 poison. So I mean, Become Immense is obviously a kill but I don't think he's going to have the mana for it.
So Eric definitely has 1 Might Evolved Krosa in his hand.
Ooh, what do we got here? Aspect of Hydra?
Of Hydra.
Oh my god, please tell me we have another one. This is going to give +4/+4?
+4/+4.
3, 4, 5. So this is not lethal. Another one? He just conceded. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's at a lower life total. He was at 11. No, he was at 11. That was... Maybe he was just tapping to cast another one and Eric conceded. I'm not sure.
I'm
You
not
see the
sure.
life total, it says 11 right there. Huh. I guess Drew just had 2 of them. But yeah, that's what you gotta do. Aspect of Hydra is a sweet one, man.
Yeah, card's sweet.
I'm glad to see that card showing up. This is going to be the toughest match for Drew, I think. Like, he fought through a pretty weak draw from the Infect deck. Like Eric didn't have an Infector until turn 3, and never got to attack with it. And,
like, this game Drew is going to be on the draw, which makes a big difference. With
oh
this
yeah,
deck.
it's much tougher to win on the draw. We'll see if he's able to sort of fight through this sort of stuff. I'd imagine that like he's going to need Eric to mulligan in order to get through. Like I don't think Drew has a way to beat any of Eric's good draws on the play.
I do think his 2-drops are actually fairly reasonable, or some of his 2-drops, like Avatar blocks Inkmoth Nexus.
Has reach. They always forget it has
And
reach.
Strangleroot Geist just has haste,
Oh,
so you can play your 1-drop, play Strangleroot Geist, and get in there. And then,
Yeah.
like your you kind of get that half a turn back or so.
Alp. I would recommend. I think Blue White Titan's a fine deck. Like you have a very bad twin matchup. You have a bit of a rough matchup against some combo decks, but you have game against most everything. Like you have life gain, you have creatures, you have removal, you have counter spells. Like you do stuff, and it is exceptionally cheap.
Yeah, and honestly, it occupies like a similar space in the metagame to like where like Blue White Tron would, and I would 100% play Sun Titan over Blue White Tron in
Yeah,
the tournament.
I think so too. Mostly because I think you have a much better burn matchup.
Yes, you have early interaction.
Yes.
With spells that cost 2 or less.
Yeah, that are
Outside
not,
of Path to Exile.
and Azorius Signet.
Or Reband.
Ooh, that's what about Mono Blutron?
I would play Mono Blutron.
I think you would just play Mono Blutron because you like it, not because it's good.
Correct. I think it's better than Blue White Tron.
I agree.
This time.
Man, Blue White Tron used to be so sweet. Then they found all these other better Tron decks.
Yeah.
The last time Blue White Tron was good was when no one knew that Green Red Tron was a deck. It just didn't exist. And then once it existed, you just couldn't play Blue White Tron anymore.
No.
It was just so much worse. You just could never beat the other deck. You're like your end game of like putting an Elish Norn into play was just laughably bad.
Yeah, they're like, all right, Karn, exile it.
Yeah. Yeah, all the Blue Tron variants are like not very powerful decks in Modern.
No. They have the problem of being very weak on the draw.
Oh my god, they're so because they're
Incredibly weak on the draw.
their main way of interaction is like 2-mana counter spells. You're so bad against 1-drops.
Yeah, like every time you're on the draw, like playing with Mono Blutron, and you have like, you're on the draw and you see like 2 repeals in your hand, and you're like, like,
I don't know how I would. Yeah.
could just be dead.
Blue White Titan does not run Elixir or Sphinx's Revelation. All right, we got Turn 1 Glistener Elf. Someone's in there. For Eric on the play here. This is basically the worst possible spot for Drew. I wonder if Eric's going to play around Dismember. I feel like he has to.
I think he has to.
Oop. Groundswell? Nope. Mutagenic Growth for mana. Don't see that one often.
Not very often, but fairly relevant in this matchup.
That's 3 poison right at you.
Yep.
Yep, misclicked. Oh my god. I'm going to throw this mouse. I'm going to go Office Space on this mouse one day. It's going to be amazing.
There we are. Avatar of the Resolute.
Oh, yeah. No counters, no value. What is this?
What? How much more value do you need outside of a 3/2 reach?
Good question. It's basically...
Reach and trample?
But is it... my problem is every time I see this card in play, I wonder if it's better than Deadly Recluse. Because usually the answer is no.
Yeah, Deadly Recluse is quite good.
Maybe people should just be playing Deadly Recluse. Why is Deadly Recluse not legal in Standard? Blocks Mantis Rider.
It does block Mantis Rider.
If it was a 1/3, it would survive Wild Slash.
Bring it back with Ojutai's command.
Woo! Bant Recluse. Bant Spiders. Get in there. All right, Eric gonna draw for
I would
turn.
play that card.
You'd get tricked into playing that card? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
All right, here's a Noble Hierarch land for turn. And a pass? That's great news for Drew.
Yeah, that's brutal.
A pass. That means... What does that mean? That means that Eric
That
either
means-
has, like...
It looks like he has Become Immense, I think. So, like, he has, like, pump spells that don't save his Glistener Elf. Like, if he has,
Yeah.
like, another Mutagenic Growth, he can't really attack.
I think that's what he has.
Or no, he has, well,
Ooh, the Bailoff.
actually no, because he has Noble Hierarch, so and a Mutagenic Growth is fine. But Become Immense makes sense to have.
Yeah, Become Immense, yeah, certainly going to be... Man, that card just so scary. Oh my god, the lag on this friggin' keyboard. I'm going to... Anyways, yeah, Eric's hand, I believe, is Spell Pierce, Become Immense, and I think Mutagenic Growth. Yeah. And he's just going to pass again. This is great news for Drew. I mean, I think we're probably in the spot where if Eric just draws an Apostle's Blessing, the game is going to end.
Yes.
but
but he is giving Drew some time,
And that's great.
yeah.
Drew needs time to, like, just play more idiots.
Yeah, just more dudes.
Let's see if Drew's got... If Drew has another follow-up here, something like a Dungrove Elder or another Bailoff or a Thrun, then I think Drew's, like, in really good shape. He's... No matter what, Drew's in the position where he's just dead to an Apostle's Blessing.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing he can do about that. I don't think he has any interaction. It's really hard to say. Like, he might...
Well, like, it's especially awkward unless... So, like... Oh, no, he has Noble Hierarch. gonna say. So he has 7 mana.
Who?
I was gonna say. So like, if he didn't
Eric
have the
does?
noble, Eric has 7, or he has like if he has become.
Ah, I see what you mean. Yeah.
So like, I was gonna say if he didn't have the noble hierarch, then he'd be in this awkward spot where he would have to like cast, you know, he couldn't like cast Become Immense first because he wouldn't have enough mana, but he also can't cast Apostle's Blessing because then he can't become immense.
Oh wow. So okay, we have. Oh, he's going for the kill and he's getting spell pierced. Oh no. So this is an attack for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Mm-hmm.
Is this one short of lethal though?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
5. Bailout's a 4, 5. So 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 5. So 12.
Yeah.
All right. So there's Mutagenic Growth. And there's Become Immense.
Yep.
And that's it. Eric gonna take down the match.
Yeah, like it's especially awkward because like that Vines is not lethal. On
I don't think
Drew's
it was.
part, but it would potentially have. Well, I guess he has the Spell Pierce either way.
Yes.
It gets Spell Pierce no matter what. But
Read aspect of Hydra. Yeah, Devotion to Green was 5.
yeah,
So this is plus 5 plus 5. So 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 4. So plus 5. It's 12 plus 4, 16. Yeah.
yep,
He must have had another pump spell.
it's possible.
Like, it's possible he just had another pump spell and didn't cast it. I don't really know why he wouldn't, though. Maybe just to represent.
Yeah.
I'm very confused, honestly. I'd imagine that Drew had either another pump spell or one to
like-
represent Dismember. It's like one of those two things, right?
Yeah, because I mean, if he just Aspect of Hydras, he has 3 mana left over and Vines in his hand.
Yes.
And he could Vines in response to the Become Immense and have mana up for Spell Pierce.
One thing Drew could have done was just held up the Vines himself and
Yeah.
just Vines Eric's creature.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, that's what you're saying. Yeah. Like, yeah, I think that aggressive Vines is not great in that
no,
scenario.
especially when it's just not lethal.
Yeah. Just holding up the 1 mana Vine. And also, I mean, he didn't see a Spell Pierce, but paying it for 1 mana plays around Spell Pierce. Man, it's funny. Eric boarded out Distortion Strike, but it would have been insane.
Yeah,
It
would have
was
been.
like the best card he could have had there.
I would. Do you think it's right to board out Distortion Strike?
Nope.
I don't think so either.
Nope. I think it would have been very good. I think Drew's deck is just all creatures.
Yeah,
Like, I actually think Distortion Strike is much better than Pierce,
I think so as well.
oddly enough. Oh my god. Why would you
Every
do
time.
that? Why would you do this to me? Alright. I'm gonna go out there and find another match. And fix my camera.
Yep. Yeah, Infect plays 0 basic islands. So they just play 8 or 10 green fetch lands and like 2 breeding pools, 2 or 3 breeding pools, and then some basic forests. And like, yeah. Yeah, the deck can't. It's difficult enough for the deck to beat a Blood Moon, you know, given its somewhat reliance on Igmoth Nexus. Yeah. Yeah. We'll bring it back to the booth so we're not just staring at that crooked play area. Yeah, the mono green deck was just it was just too big to fit in that tiny space where we keep the feature match area. Yeah, so we'll see what yeah, so not good.
My opponent was mind controlling me. Mind slavering me last game.
Play against Mono Blutron.
No, if my opponent was mind slavering me, they would have done what I did 3 turns ago. Just, I couldn't have played worse.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you should play better.
I don't know, I'm getting tired of it. That was bad.
I'm talking to Kyle Fouché, who's apparently terrible at Magic.
Very bad at it. Very bad at it.
According to himself.
I'm just gonna stick to it.
Yeah. Hey, limited's great. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I did. For those of you who don't know, I did win a PVQ here at Card Market on Sunday with Paolo Vitor, Donald De Rosa's Mono Red, or Atarka Red list from the Pro Tour. Yeah. Deck was great.
I did play the Gifts Mirror. That was super fun.
That's pretty sweet.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. Like I played the blue-white Tron mirror, and it's really weird.
It's just like who resolves gifts first.
Yeah.
It's like a huge thing.
Yeah. Who can resolve gifts first? Or it's weird because like depending on what targets you have, like I don't know, resolving. Like I don't know.
Because it was also really weird because like we both like resolve Liliana's, or we
Yeah.
really get bad at removing Liliana's.
Yeah.
So it was just like we were just hellbent the whole game.
Just taking turns ultimating each other.
Right. And then like eventually they get like you play Lingering Souls and it cracks it back down before something happens.
Yep.
Like, it's just silly.
Yeah. It's a little awkward. Yeah, the snap. I'm gonna pull up the. Hopefully, we can get a new picture of this new Snapcaster Mage. I'm not a huge fan of the Snapcaster Mage art, honestly, but it is worth money, so that is always nice. Oh, they do not have the image that I want. Yeah, it's tough. I think it's like overall a good move for them to not, for like SCG and other. I think it's good that Legacy is not a Pro Tour format. The same thing with Modern, really. And yep, as Synacious says, standard sells. That's pretty much it. Like it makes the most money for everyone, and it does the best job of showing off new cards, and honestly is the format that changes the most. If you, it's a little awkward watching, a Modern Pro Tour where it's just not much different from the last Modern Pro Tour because, yeah, there are some cards that enter the format, but nothing changes too drastically over even, periods of even like a year or 2 years. Zip. Phil's taking a long time. Yeah.
All right, so everyone said no. We have this problem. So I don't know if anyone. I'm sure several people have been to Star City Games Open. So when you go to Star City Games Open, the first thing you do is you sign a waiver.
Yes.
Where you're just like, it's a waiver of consent, where it says that if I'm going to play in this tournament, basically they can publish your information, which includes putting you on camera. We don't have waivers here. We have to ask people.
People can refuse,
And they do sometimes. And it is what it is. That's their prerogative. I don't care. But I do get annoyed when it means that we have nothing to put on.
Yes.
We do. I have a game that is or a match that is currently in game 2 that looks like it might go to game 3. It is Lantern versus Mono Blue Turns.
Fantastic.
I was in the middle of watching Nathan. Nathan just cracked an Elixir of Immortality, so he
Okay.
might just kill Tony next turn. But Tony got to go Lantern, and Nathan revealed the top card of his library, and it was Temporal Mastery.
Fantastic.
He's just like, I'll mill that one. It was pretty cute. But yeah, the matchup looked real goofy.
Yeah, I actually really enjoy these like goofy matchups that like
Yeah.
you just never see or play.
No, that's like I'm not gonna. I would maybe play Lantern, maybe. But like I'm not gonna play Mono Blue Take a Million, not Mono Blue Dictative Prefix Time Warp deck.
Nope.
Like that's just not something I feel like doing. But yeah, no one here is playing tokens from what I can tell. I have played against tokens once here ever.
There's usually not many people. on
No.
this. I've played it against it a couple times, but
It's pretty rare, I would say. I very rarely play against tokens. I think just one time ever, and even then I just rarely see it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's not an incredibly expensive deck. You don't need to play a lot of super expensive cards in it.
no, you don't.
I think I owned almost the entire deck. Like, you could play more expensive cards in it, stuff like Aurak Champion or Liliana the Veil or something like that. I don't know. You don't need to, though. Like, none of these cards are necessities. Everything else is like pretty straightforward, like Thoughtseize, Inquisition, removal spells, token makers, lands.
Yeah.
And like, you just like the only lands, like the most expensive card in the deck is probably Marsh Flats that you need to play.
And how much is Marsh Flash relative to the other fetches? Like,
Probably like $40 or $50, something like that. It's expensive. It's not a cheap
Expensive,
card.
yeah.
But compared to like the rest of the decks in Modern, it's much cheaper.
Yeah, not much to do about the prices of fetch lands right now, though.
Yeah. The filter land is pretty important in that deck. I think you definitely
it really does need
you need to play Fetid Heath in that deck. Your mana is
That's why I'll never play that deck, because you have to play filter lands.
you do have to play Fetid Heath. Like
Yeah.
the fact that you're playing like if you want to play like Spectral Possession and Liliana or any black spell or something like that.
Like, you're playing Inquisitions in your deck, and like,
Sometimes you need to fetch Swamp.
sometimes you need to fetch Swamp.
Like against like a burn or whatever, you want to fetch Swamp and Inquisition them or something. Yeah, I agree that Liliana is close to necessary because she's insanely good, but I don't know. There are several versions of the deck that don't play it. Same with Bitter Blossom, although I think Bitter Blossom's gotten quite a bit cheaper
Yes.
because of its printing in Modern Masters 2.
Also, it not seeing any play
Yeah.
whatsoever
Yes.
in any format.
$25 Magic card.
All right, not bad.
God, this card has
Remember when that
incredible
card
art.
shot up to like $80 or $90?
When I got No, you
unbanned?
play 4 Spectral Possessions and you don't even add like the cards that are uncuttable are Spectral Possession, Lingering Souls, and Intangible Virtue.
Yes.
And then from there, like you play like a large number of discard spells. I usually see between 6 and 8.
Talking about tokens?
Yes. And then I think you necessarily should play. I think you need to play 4 Paths, and then from there you can play like a couple other things like maybe Dismember, maybe Murderous Cut.
I like Murder's Cut.
Yeah.
I
two
like
cards.
fitting delve spells into these decks.
Yeah, when like the first delve
No
spell
real
is
reason
so
to do it,
free.
yeah.
Just play it. Like the downside is like sometimes you will have it on turn 1 and it will be frustrating, but like the upside is so high. But yeah, Path, Spectral, Souls, and Virtue are the core of the deck.
Yeah.
You just like you can't cut any of those cards.
I think Bitter Blossom has to be close to a lock at this point, right? Like, if we were talking about like most optimal.
Raise the Alarm is really bad, I think.
I also am not super impressed.
The evasion is so good on
Yeah.
on precision. Like that's the most it's an understated aspect of the card. Plus, you can just beat some decks by casting 1 Spectral Procession. Like it is before Lingering Souls was printed, that was the best. That was probably the best token maker of all time.
Yeah.
Maybe like Decree of Justice, but like that's
Keldron Outpost.
I'd say Sacred Mesa comfortably better than
Sure.
Kjeldren Outpost. I think Raise. I don't like Raise at all. I think people realize that Raise is just too bad at attacking through ground creatures. Can you see if there's if
feel like
Nathan is out there?
Before
If he's moved to the camera.
that's my thing about Bitter Blossom is I feel like before Bitter Blossom was unbanned, you're kind of priced into playing these like other token makers. But Bitter Blossom is just very good.
Bitter
Timely
Blossom's
Reinforcements is also great.
Oh yeah.
That card is a card that I actually like main deck in like some white decks. decks.
Yeah.
You know.
In that deck, it seems
This deck
completely fine.
specifically.
The one downside is that oftentimes you just like won't have more creatures than them.
Yeah, you just
Um,
have to wait on your spectral or something.
Yeah, Bitter Blossom seems way better than Raise the Alarm.
Yeah.
I don't know like how many of of the discard spells you're gonna play. I know you should probably play at least 6
At least 6
between
I would
Thoughtseize and Inquisition of Kozilek.
You care, the score is now 8-1.
I don't. Like your interaction is basically removal and discard, so you need to like have a lot of that effect to reliably draw it.
Secure the Waste is pretty
Yeah, Secure the Way seems sweet. Also, I think every tokens deck should have at least 1 and probably 2 Sorin Solemn Visitor. That card is crazy.
Yeah, that card is very good.
Holy crap!
I also like the other Sorin. Like, they're both really
I think that Sorin's good, but I think Solemn
You
Visitor
think just
pushed
the
it
plus
out.
One, yeah, you
The
think it's
plus
that much
one
better?
is crazy.
What do you
Okay.
think of Mentor and tokens?
Nope.
No.
Nope. Nothing that makes spot removal good.
No.
I think
Mentor to board?
Nope.
No. I think 6 to 8. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, and I think 6 is a little low. Like Jund usually runs 6 to 8, 6 to 7.
Something around there.
I've seen it. It's rarely 8.
Secure is very slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sorin is...
Yeah, 3 sword. Yeah, like I've seen that, and it seems completely reasonable. That card's so
card's really
good.
Fremont? Double
Sorin Solemn Video.
New Gideon, I don't think. New Gideon's interesting.
What about
New
retreat
Gideon
over
is
again?
sweet. The question is, like, how many Planeswalkers do you want? Like, how many of these effects?
Yeah, like you can only play so many 4-drops in your deck.
It is nice that you can cash in Gideon for a, for an emblem.
Yeah, Gideon.
Like-
Gideon. The fact that Gideon is modal, like Gideon is a card that like it does all the things you want it to do, right? Like it makes a guy. I think like I've seen. I know that when Will and I played, Will had Elspeth Knight Errant. I think that Gideon is better than Elspeth.
I think so, too.
Yeah, you cut one for New Gideon. Yeah, I think New Gideon has like pretty sweet. But as you said, you just can't play that many of that card, of any of these cards, of any 4-drops.
I actually like... Is it reasonable to play more Gideons than Sorins?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think the lifelink is just
So much better?
Yeah, like because like
Okay, that's reasonable.
I think what makes Sorin good is it means you don't necessarily have to play Vault of the Archangel in your deck.
Yes.
6 walkers in your deck? You're crazy, Will. You're crazy. I
like it.
I like Liliana. I think I don't really like Elspeth Knight Errant. I don't really like. I think that like Liliana, Sorin, and Gideon are like the 3 best ones. Yeah, he's pretty expensive right now. It's a fun thing about Standard. If you're gonna play Standard, you need 4x of either, in my opinion, you need 4x Gideon or 4x Jace in your deck, or 4x Dragon Fodder. Dragon Fodder,
is
is
debatable.
that right?
More like Monastery Swiftspear.
I'm gonna shift gears in this conversation for a second. Can we get a chat? I'm gonna a congratulations to this Kevin Kingsley. He won the preliminary PTQ here
Someone already congratulated me.
on Sunday. Good, they should. But Kevin won on Sunday. I'm looking at his deck list right now. He defeated me in the Swiss in 3 close games. I think it was probably more like 2
One
close
close
games.
game.
Was it 1 close game? Oh, the 3rd game?
Yeah.
Yeah, 1 close game. Actually, yeah, I blew you out in 1
Yeah.
game and you blew me out in another game. Yeah. But yeah. Wait, you have 1 Gideon and 1 Gideon? I'm very confused. I don't know.
Different Gideons?
I don't know if I like Gideon Jura in that
don't
deck.
think so.
I think
That's
it's
5 mana.
Yeah, it's 5 mana and it doesn't really further your plan. It's a really good card though.
It is very good.
But yeah, Kevin playing. Was this the exact 75 that Paulo played?
Exact 75.
Yeah, I played the 75 that Paulo Vitor played to the top 8 of the Pro Tour. Deck looks great. How did you feel about 3 Become Immense, 3 Teamer Battle Rage? Is that good? You didn't want to get flooded on those cards? It's like I know the green-red landfall deck plays 4 of both,
Yes. The only issue, it's a lot more awkward just because Battle Rage is just... Like, Battle Rage is much better in the landfall deck because your, like, Slide Runners or Gnarlids are regularly, like, 4/4s.
Yeah.
So it's fine to draw only a Battle Rage,
Yeah.
but you really don't want to draw Battle Rage unless you also have, like... It's fine with Titan Strength, but you really wanted to have it with Become Immense.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, this pretty straightforward list. I mean, it's kind of shocking how few creatures are actually here. You have extra. Oh, you do have extra outbursts in the sideboard. 1 Lightning Berserker in the sideboard. So goofy.
Yeah.
But what was the worst card in the deck?
Hard to say.
Was it Dragon Fodder?
Dragon Fodder was actually pretty good. Dragon Fodder was pretty good. Hordling Outburst was very good.
Yeah, Holding Out one more power. Like the extra dude is just so good. Like
Yeah.
the fact that I think the main thing is how good it is versus one blocker.
Mm-hmm.
Like in the fact you're able to jam like 3 guys into one blocker without a hesitation, but like 2 guys, you're losing half your board versus losing a third of your board. Like it's a huge difference.
Yeah, and I like it because like people are already incentivized to try and beat you with more spot removal spells, and just having extra Hordling Outburst is
Yeah, it's
very
just
good.
so good against spot removal.
Yeah.
Battle Rage just seems great. Battle Rage Titan Strength is like enough of a combo a lot of times. Did you do that a bunch?
It can be sometimes.
Titan Strength just seems great.
10 strength is really good. There are also a lot of times like there's really not much like early interaction. So like if you're like short on lands, there are a lot of I kept a lot of one landers with like 2 dudes and a Titan strength, or and like
You're like
you
play a
just,
guy, upkeep Titan Strength.
yeah,
find
just like
second
don't
land.
even untap my land, just like
This one.
yep.
Yeah. How was the 4th Zergo?
I was actually pretty happy with it.
Zergo just dies a lot, right?
Zergo just dies a lot. Everyone's playing Wild Slash or Fiery Impulse in their deck. The other 1-drops, like Lightning Berserker was fine, but I could see it's cuttable.
What did you beat? What did you beat in the top 8?
I beat the Mirror, straight mono red with no token makers.
Straight mono red. Wow. Interesting. How many Chandras?
I did not see any Chandras. I
Okay.
saw Heel Cutters. and Exquisite
was
Fire
it
Crest.
Brandon's deck?
It was
No,
Nick
Brandon was
Larson.
Oh no, Brandon was playing.
Brandon was playing Atarka Red.
Yeah. You played him first.
I played
Okay.
him first.
He was playing, but he also had like Heel Cutter in his deck. I think
Yeah, his deck wasn't mine.
His deck didn't look updated.
I felt favored.
Yeah, I think your card. you had like 5 shocks in your main deck.
Yep.
Like all your cards, and you had like the Boiling Earth and all these cards seem. You have 2 more shocks. You have like 7 shocks post board.
Yes.
Like that's insane. So you beat 2 red decks, and then the finals you beat what?
Bant Megamorph.
Damn. Oh, so just like green white splash like dispels.
/ Dispel Stratus Dancer.
Interesting. That's the matchup, by the way, where the red splash is, I think, quite a bit better than the blue splash. Maybe not quite a bit better. Like Dispel is great.
Dispel is great.
Dispel Stratus Dancer is pretty great.
Mm-hmm.
Like, were they 3 close games or?
They were. So, game 1, I was on the draw, and I don't remember too much about game 1.
Okay.
It was like reasonably close, but I didn't get there.
I mean,
Game
on the
2
on the draw they can just like go up the board or like
Yeah, and it was
end
awkward
up drawing a
'cause, like,
Warden or something like that.
Yeah, and like I just don't have as many like post board. I have all the shocks. So like game 2, he never untapped with a creature and was dead in like 4 or 5 turns.
Did you board in Chandra? Or was it too slow?
So I boarded in I think like 1 Chandra on the play. I just needed 1 more card
I'm assuming.
on the play.
I'm assuming you boarded in like Outbursts and like maybe and like some and Roast.
I boarded in Roast. I don't remember if I had. I definitely had Roast on the draw.
Hey, Roast. I mean, Roast
Um,
just seems great.
Yeah,
Roast
it was good.
Kills
I mean,
everything.
like, yeah. I like in game 3 on the draw. My plan was basically my plan in the matchup was kill everything.
Brandon had a game loss.
Yeah, Brandon got a game loss.
No, in the for top 8,
Yes.
misregistered deck.
Yep.
Yeah,
He
great.
registered, I think, 11 with like 12 mountains instead of 11 mountains in a forest.
So close.
Yep.
So close. Not quite. Need
Which-
to cast Target's command.
Yeah. Well, it was rough. I lost the then second game because
Okay.
he drew his Hordling Outbursts, which that's the card in the mirror.
Yeah, that card is just so efficient.
The name of the straight mono red player was Nick Larson. He had a hot sauce hoodie on.
Oh yeah,
I've
seen him around.
yeah.
He's played it. I think he's played in at least a few of the other PPTQs we had
Mhm.
here. We had a
a good player.
yep.
It was Nick Larson.
We had a pretty. The PPTQ was pretty small. It was like 26 players.
Something like that.
I lost playing for 8th. I'm pretty sure I would have got. I'm pretty sure because like Steve did not get 8th,
Nope.
but I think I would have, because I had the best breakers going in. Although he dropped like 9% or something ridiculous like that because it was such a small tournament. But yeah, I stink. Lost to 2 red decks.
Should just play red, man.
I was very close to winning both my red losses, and also I that's true. I also my loss. I played Esper Control for those wondering, and I lost to because my loss to Dathan was he top decked Outpost Siege.
Yes, that I tuned in exactly as that was happening. That match.
I believe I was hurling expletives at that point. Not at him, just at the I was just hurling expletives.
There was definitely an exploit.
Yeah, I was just like, oh god, like.
Yeah, he was like, I cannot beat this.
No,
guy.
I could. I tried. I
Yeah.
came close. I died exactly lethal.
Yeah.
But
He just drew it and was like, dragons.
so bad. For those, he had 5 creatures out, and I dug into the planar outburst.
Yep.
But I also lost to Steve in the last round, where I just got.
You drew a lot of
I got
dragons.
so unlucky. Not like so unlucky. Like everyone draws
Yeah,
lands, like
it's-
whatever. Yeah, I drew lands on like 2 turns where I needed to draw spells.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also don't think I played optimally at all. I think I could have played a lot better against basically all of my opponents. Just inexperience with the deck. Like, everyone gets better the more reps they put in with the deck. Everyone. That is not as a rule. There are very few exceptions to that rule. And I had not played a single game before. You'd basically been playing the same deck.
Yep. I actually played. Well, I played in States on Saturday.
Yeah.
Did not do well, but my list was. I was still playing. Like
70, like 60-ish of the same cards.
some, I didn't have. I had like hangerbacks instead of berserkers.
Sure.
Didn't have Hordling outbursts, which I think was huge.
That was a huge mistake,
Like,
right? Not a huge mistake, but a huge change.
Yeah, it was.
And especially
And I had like heel cutters.
Yeah, heel cutter's not good.
Heel cutter's not good, and that was one of the things. Like when I was testing, like for kind of 4 states with Steve Dang, Dragon Fodder was just very impressive in all
Yeah.
the games he played, and I just never made the jump to Hordling outbursts.
Yeah, it's just like, why not play the better version of this
Yeah.
card?
But Hangerback was. It's Hangerback Walker. It's going to be fine, okay, but the deck really doesn't want it.
It doesn't fit into the plan of the deck. It's like you get into this place where you're just like, I'm going to add some good cards to my deck, but like you need to add cards that are good in like at executing your deck's game plan.
Yeah, and like for example, at States, I was on the play against a green-white deck, and or it might not have been green-white, but in any case, I like play a turn 2 Hangerback Walker for 1, and then my next turn play like another dude and like activate my Hangerback Walker. He just untaps and silk grabs it, and I just like lost on the spot.
Is the next round going up?
No, 1 minute left before turns are called.
Okay, thank you. I think we'll put Paul on camera this round. He's 2-1. He said he quickly defeated Esper Gifts.
I would hope so.
I would also hope so. Actually, I think I've seen like basically his deck is a deck that I've seen in the past. It's I've seen. I don't know if you ever saw the deck, but it was like a 4-color Delver deck.
Okay.
It was just like a Nicatl Delver deck.
I don't think I've seen it. But
Instead of Tribal Flames, it played like counter spells, I'm gonna play Goyfs, Nicatls, Delvers, and Snapcasters basically as the creatures. And he's playing the same suite, although he has one incredibly loose decision, which was to play 3 Snapcasters, 1 Soulfire Grandmaster. Don't do that at home, kids. Don't do
I
that.
do not condone this.
Play 4
As
Snapcasters.
someone who played 3 Snapcasters for a long time in a lot of decks, 4th is great. You should just play 4.
I played.
If you're playing Lightning Bolt, you should play 4.
Just
Snapcasters.
play 4. Come on.
They're so good.
But yeah, I was playing Esper Control. I think there is a build of Esper Dragons I like, which was Shota's version from the Pro Tour. On the other hand, it's really hard to take decks that Shota Yosoka plays and win with them because he's so much better than everyone else.
Yep, he's on another level.
Completely another level. I've tried it at other points, and I'm always just like, I'm losing with this deck now. Like, but I prefer Esper Control, personally. I really like decks that are very slim on win conditions, just because I find them very fun. And I think I like playing longer games a lot of times.
I think extra win conditions can be a crutch that punishes you in a lot of games.
Oh yeah, flooding on win conditions is usually terrible. But yeah, there's a build of Esper that I think is good. I don't know where it is. Somewhere probably between the Pantheon build Patrick Chapin put together. Patrick Chapin and like Matt Sperling and Paul Rietzel played, and the Or sorry, that's not the. There's Ultra Pro version, and then the Pantheon version that Reed played that was like Drago. The Ultra Pro version was basically black white. It was black white mid range.
Black white.
Splash dig through time Jace. They had
That's fine.
very light blue spells.
Namely, low on counter spells.
Yes, which I think is
I think
maybe correct. I don't know. I like that they had main deck negate. Negate's great.
Yeah, negate is great.
They had
They
main
also
deck.
had main deck duress,
Yeah,
right?
both of them seem excellent.
Yep.
What Reed had going that I like is kind of like necessary was that he had 4 Clash of Wills in his deck because he needs cheap interaction. I think you can do better.
I
I
agree.
want to do better than that. Yeah, that's what I played. I played the Reed Duke version with 2 Ugins. Ugin was so good. Man, Ugin was great.
How were Majoring Network?
So good.
Good?
Major
Okay.
Network is amazing. Like, the downside is that Reed's deck had to only play 1 Shambling Vents, which is a very good Magic card, especially in multiples. Paul Green.
Huh?
Paul Green.
I have no idea what that is.
Oh my god. But yeah, Major Network is amazing.
Nice.
Shardlands, dude.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna take it down to the well. All right, let's see. Yeah, let's get this card up there. Boom. Yeah, I really liked the Ultra Pro version of Esper. I really think being proactive is pretty important in this format, and switching to more kind of discard spells over a lot more counter spells and being more blue heavy is good, because I think if you're playing counter spells, I think you're already incentivized with cards like Shambling Vent, Gideon, Ob Nixilis. You're incentivized to play heavier on the black and white, and just it makes your mana a lot better if you're not as blue heavy and relying on counter spells. Alright, I'm going to take it down to the play area now. Alright, and the camera.
Going right back at it.
Fantastic.
Is it
All
either
right.
left or right?
It needs
Point
to like
direction.
move a little to the left and up.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll get these names here. We've got Paul Green. Paul Green on the left, and I don't really see. I'm not quite sure who that is on the right, but we'll get there. And what are we calling Paul's deck? 5-color aggro tempo.
5-color.
Five
No,
color
it's,
Delver.
it's 5-color Delver.
All right, 5-color Delver.
5-color Delver Zoo.
5-color Delver.
Alright. We got Nick Wild again.
Wrong one.
Boom.
Boom.
And they're both 2-1. We're in round 4 right now. This will be the final round of the night. Hopefully we get a sweet three games that'll take some time, or we'll end up playing. We'll see if we can get another backup match this time.
All right, all good. Round
Alright.
timer.
And start.
Boom.
Look at us. We're set.
On top of it.
We know exactly what we're doing. All right. And turn 1 Serum Visions from Nick. Quick sleight of hand, quick top and bottom there after his random draw. All right. This is the most entertaining part of Paul's deck right here.
I 3-0 split with Time Walk.
Nice.
All right. For those wondering, by the way, mono blue extra turns, just 3-0'd and split. Everyone is shocked,
Is it down?
and everyone is proud. I think
I
is.
want to go outside.
Okay. Okay, yeah, go for it.
All right. Well, right now we have the pilot of the deck right here, Nathan Mullins.
Yeah.
How's it going?
So good. So good. What are we watching?
We are watching Paul's 5-color Delver deck
Okay.
play against Grixis Twin.
Yeah, he always does funny stuff.
I love it.
That Tarmogoyf weird Trinket Mage deck he was playing last week was sweet.
Oh my god, the bug deck?
Yeah, that was so cool.
Yeah, so last week Paul was playing this bug Trinket Mage control deck.
Yeah, it was awesome. I
Oh.
lost to it on camera, so
I think I actually tuned in for that match.
yeah, it was brutal.
It was crazy. His deck was just like so unique.
Mm-hmm.
I had not seen a deck like that. Oh yeah.
5-color Delver with Wild Nikados. Boom.
It's like Delver Zoo.
Okay. Didn't people used to play Geist in Zoo a little bit?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
All right, we see Paul playing the Blood Crypt and attack for 2.
Mm-hmm. Not quite the Blood Crypt. What would you have to play? Like
Sacred Foundry.
Yeah.
Sacred Foundry is the key here.
Yeah.
Not representing much here as far as like removal spells. He has multiple Tribal Flames in his hand though.
Oh, of course he does. Yeah.
He's just holding up for Spell Snare. I don't know if he's gonna. I don't know if he has any ways game 1 to interact with a Pestermite. Sorry, with a Deceiver Exarch.
Yeah. The good old 1/4. That card is so frustrating.
Oh my god, I think he has Lingering Souls in his hand. Yes, he does.
Yikes. So you definitely fetch Sacred Foundry, right?
You definitely fetch a white source.
All right, like
It could be green white. No, it's probably Sacred Foundry. Yeah, Sacred Foundry.
yeah.
We just fetch and shock. Oh, I know he's at way less life total, right?
Yeah, he's fetched and shocked there.
So 14 then.
He fetched and shocked twice
Yes.
and shocked himself.
No, he didn't shock on turn 2.
Oh, right.
All right, so he's got Tribal Flames, Spell Snare. All right, yeah, he's just saying show it to me, which
Oh boy, will he be able to? Oh no,
I don't know if Nick has the land.
I think he does though.
No, he just
Top decked it,
just
drops his
top
card.
decked it, yeah.
Oh my god,
And you're dead on turn 4.
so brutal.
Twin's good.
Twin is just ugh.
Nothing changes. For those who don't know, Nathan has a propensity to really dislike the best deck.
Delver and Twin, man, so dumb.
Hates Delver in Legacy, hates Twin in Modern.
I don't hate the best deck in Legacy. I play Storm all the time.
That's true. Storm is real great. Oh god, I love Storm.
Ugh.
I don't think I'm going to play it this weekend.
Elvesing it up.
I think I'm going to cast the Green Grizzlebrand.
Yeah, of course. I was watching Julian do some streaming today.
I was as well.
Yeah.
I saw him. What did he do today? I think he just ended up losing a bunch.
Yeah, he lost to Miracles, and I think Shardless Bug also.
Oh, that's a good matchup. No, he beat Shardless Bug. He just like
What did he?
hardcast Craterhoof a bunch of times.
Oh right, so that was.
I think he lost to the black-green Dark Depths deck.
Oh yeah, that weird thing. Yeah.
So that deck, I didn't know what that deck was. There's a black-green Dark Depths deck in Legacy that's sort of like a rock deck that just has, Urborgs, Dark Depths, and stages in it.
Yeah.
And like Hex Mages.
He's playing Smother. Oh wait, no, that was the Shardless Bug player. The
Played
Shardless Bug
Smother.
player played Smother, which was so confusing.
Isn't it? Is Smother CMC 3 or less?
Yeah.
So it's strictly Worship Abrupt Decay.
Oh yeah, but it kills Goyfs, dude. It's so relevant.
It does kill Goyf. It does kill Ink Moth Nexus. It kills Creeping Tar Pit. And Ink Moth Nexus.
Oh my goodness.
There we go. Broke
That
it.
is relevant.
Yeah.
You know what? That's probably bonkers in the Shardless Mirror.
That's true. Yeah, you just like end up like. I feel like the Shardless Mirror is insanely swingy.
Well, yeah, right? Because it's
Yes.
like, oh man, second man. How many of the creeping targets?
1 or 2.
Okay, yeah. So if you could either like level them by playing 2, or you could just play Smother. They think they've got you locked down. You have 1 card in hand.
Yeah.
They animate their creeping tar pit. You're like Smother.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh
So,
no.
did Paul win that game?
Not even close.
Turn 4
Not even
Twin.
close.
Nope.
Ah,
Nick,
okay.
he had tapped out on turn 3, and Nick just had him dead.
fine.
My policy is if someone ever asks me if I top deck something, I always say yes.
Yeah.
Always.
Even when you didn't.
Even when I didn't, I will always say yes.
Because it sets them off for the next game, and they're like tilted a little bit, and then they
It-
play less optimally.
It's just I like to think of it as a lesson to not think about those kind of things.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't let those things bother you. Why would you ever be upset? Like what do you think? They're just always like what's more upsetting? Like them just having it in their hand, or them drawing it no matter what? Like they're drawing a card every turn.
Yeah.
Like come on.
Variance is
Like,
there.
it's magic.
This is part of the game. You
Yep.
literally draw a card every turn.
Sometimes they're lands, sometimes they're Splinter Twins.
Like shocker, my 7-card hand didn't have all I needed in it.
Yeah.
What did I do? I played Magic and I drew the cards I needed to win. Like, come on.
I don't know. I kept a 6-land hand with Dictator Crufix today, and it had everything I needed.
Did it?
Yeah,
For-
that was all I needed.
For those wondering,
Dictate.
this beautiful mono blue deck. I say beautiful. I mean only aesthetically,
Yeah.
not really in other aspects of it. I would say like
I think it's beautiful gameplay wise as well.
it's beautiful. It's actually I would say it's
The
matchup wise extremely similar to Amulet, where you're favored against everything except burn.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Actually.
Yeah, like it's just it's a different
Except
sort
you
of
beat
Amulet.
Blood Moon.
You beat Blood Moon to
Not-
hell.
I'll say, well, if your opponent boards in Blood Moon, then fantastic.
Yeah.
They're blind.
This deck is literally all islands and one Miko Koro
And a Ghost Quarter.
and one Ghost Quarter
Yeah, dude.
for value.
When you need that double blue and you don't have it, I guess. I don't know. It's really just for value.
And you're
Okay.
all islands.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can afford it, right?
Yeah.
Is
Like,
what it comes
there's
down
really
to.
no. I'd board it out a lot.
Yeah, that makes
Seems
sense.
fine.
Because it's 22 basic islands, Miko Koro, Ghost Quarter. Also, Amulet, dude. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, Ghost Quarter's
Tron.
just randomly
Tron,
very good.
yeah. Definitely played a game online where I Ghost Quartered and Elixired of Immortality very quickly because I was playing against Tron. I was like, I need to find it again.
Did you?
No, I lost.
Yeah, it's not that. Tron can be bad just because is Tron only hard because they go Carney to land
Usually, yeah, like because I don't have anything on board before
Yeah.
turn 4.
Yeah.
and your only interaction is counter spells,
Yeah.
right? Which can like if you just don't draw
they
them,
can
you
beat
die.
that, yeah. They can also just beat counterspells very easily.
Yeah, they're just like cast Karn, you remand, and then there's cast Karn again.
Yeah. You have to have exclusively Cryptic Command.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I wonder if Nick boarded in his Blood Moons here. I want to see if we see any when he's shuffling. I see Anger of the Gods. He's fetching basic Mountain here. This to me screams like a lightning bolt. Let's go into 19 here. You almost never fetch basic Mountain on turn 1 unless you're bolting something. Yeah, that is in fact how Miko Koro is spelled. Oh no, Grim Lavamancer. Lavamancer is interesting. Lavamancer is good against half of the creatures in Paul's deck, and very poor against the other half. I think we're going to see Sacred Foundry and a Tarmogoyf here. Oh yeah, I love the attack. No blocks, I'll fetch. Paul does do 1,000,000 damage to himself in this deck, though.
Yep.
That is a true liability.
It's possibly. I mean, that's probably the reasoning behind the Soulfire.
I
But
guess.
I feel like you can just play some like Lightning Helixes or something.
I would much rather play
Isn't that what
Lightning
they
Helix.
used to play?
Like,
Like
Yeah.
Zoo or something?
yes. Well, they also didn't play like Serum Visions
Yeah.
Oh, right, that's true.
or Delver of Secrets in his deck.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's not playing like I don't think he's playing Noble Hierarch or like Geist. Like that was the reason to play Noble Hierarch was just turn 2 Geist.
Yeah, Noble Hierarch Geist rules.
Oh yeah, it's real hard to beat. Okay, Nick turn 2 playing an island and casting Serum Visions, immediately topping Splinter Twin and bottoming another card. I think we're going to see another attempt at a turn 4 combo here if Paul doesn't present something. Goyf, by the way, right now a measly 2/3, and it can actually be killed. I'm really surprised Nick didn't kill it. He had the option to.
He had Bolt.
No, he has Lavamancer in play.
Oh, he has Lavamancer in play. Oh.
Yeah, that's weird.
He's doing it now, which leaves it open. Now he can just get bolted in response. I think Paul just has nothing, though.
Yeah, he just doesn't have it. He's got a Dispel.
Yeah.
Another Goyf. All right, well. I guess that's basically the same as a counterspell.
Not
as good as a
not
bolt,
as
though.
good as a bolt, yeah. So now the Goyf is going to be a 2/3. And Nick going to shock. This is, like, terrifying if I'm
Yeah,
Paul.
representing the actual turn.
The turn 3 again.
Yeah.
If you're Paul, what, like, I guess we'll see what he has in hand, but
He has Dispel. Is that a Kitchen Finks? Snapcaster
be.
Mage?
it could.
Oh, he's saying this is going to be an attack for 5. Nick going to take it, go to 6. So he has Dispel, Delver, Snapcaster. Play Delver, pass. Nick plays Exarch.
And
Paul's gonna say
it does
sure.
look like a Kitchen Finks.
Yep, he's going to target the white land, play around Path to Exile. See if Nick jams here or not. You gotta.
You just go for it. What could he have? He can't even have like Murderous Cut.
Please just do it.
You
Dismember
just
is
don't
the
play
only
around
card you
it.
can
It's
have.
just
Don't
member.
play around it.
It's Dismember.
Why would you play
your
around it?
5-color deck is probably not playing Dismember.
And that's the game. Yep.
Twin, God.
Twin gonna twin.
Yep. Well,
Well, we did not see what I predicted, which was a long, hard fought 3-game set. We saw 2 turn 4 kills because you need to interact with your twin opponent.
yep.
All right.
Desperately need.
Because sometimes they do have it.
Yeah, they do. I mean, often they don't, but sometimes they do.
Yep.
All right, that was 10 minutes. So I'm gonna look for another match.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get another match.
I'll be right back.
God, twin is miserable.
Anything come entertaining?
Oh, well.
Oh my God. Is this what you?
That is what I played. It was sweet.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I don't know how I went 3-1 with Time Walk last week. I like had to play in the last round and win, and 3-0 split. That's so weird. And like,
I mean, what did you play against?
okay, so I played against Splinter Twin, which is
Yeah.
a really bad matchup, but I noticed a lot of times after I beat Splinter Twin players, they're like, man, I was just one turn too slow. And then I think about it, it's like, you were because I Giga Drowsed your entire board
Yeah.
on the turn where you would combo me, so that did make you a turn too slow.
Yeah.
And it's like, you can't play around that, really. And then, so it was Twin, Jund, which is a really good matchup. And then Lantern Control, which we learned is a terrible matchup for Lantern Control.
Okay.
They have to mill super specific cards at the right
Yeah,
time.
because your whole deck is just lands in time.
So I had 2 Howling Mines in play and a Thassa that he was trying to so I eventually was able to draw into Thassa because I have main deck Elixir of Immortality, so he could never mill me unless he milled that specifically. And so I had it in play, and I had Time Walked, attacked, and gone on my next turn, and he was trying to stop me from drawing another Time Walk. So I was like, I'll Serum Visions, and he had a response, and so shuffled it away, and there was another Time Walk, and I was like, okay, well, I'll Serum Visions again, and he milled again. And then the third time I Serum Vision and he tried to stop me, I was able to draw it with Cryptic Command, cast it, and then just win. And I was like, so the matchup we found out was really bad for him. Because he'd have to, in order for it to win, he'd have to have Pithing Needle on Jace, Hard Lock with the Lanterns, and an Ensnaring Bridge so my Thassa can't attack.
You play Jace Bellerin, right?
Yeah.
That's what I thought. Not Jace Memory Adept.
Mm-mm.
All right, we do have a match.
Take it down to the play area.
It's, we got a lot of combo tonight.
Oh my god.
God. All right, Joe Chaney on the right, Nick Paris on the left.
Well, I'll do this.
You spell names.
Are they on Amulet and Burn respectively?
Oh, of course.
Yep.
I haven't seen Amulet play in so long.
We haven't watched. We've watched a lot of. We've seen several combo decks tonight. But we have not seen Amulet. Just
I haven't seen any good combo decks, clearly. I don't even know if this counts as a combo deck. You literally do nothing. Just remand all their spells. Should play Isochron Scepter in here, so it was
That would be sweet.
repeatedly. Turn 2, remand under Isochron Scepter, go. That doesn't seem good, but it's just humorous.
It is, yeah. Ice Crown Scepter is sweet.
Isochron Scepter, Fire Eyes, right?
Yep.
So baller. Not good enough, but
Almost.
yeah. Ugh.
Oh my god.
Is it better?
It is. Yes.
Oh, beautiful. Is Joe mulliganing?
They might. I don't think so.
Every time I see Nick's last name, I laugh 'cause it's like a Pokemon last
Yep,
name.
every time. Yep.
Perez. That's so great.
It's with a K.
Oh, my bad.
Let's go with N-I-K. Records are both 2 and 1, I believe.
Oh, best part of me splitting was Sam feels very sick, he's tired and feels like he's getting sick. And I was like, man, I hope I don't get the pair down and have to
CHA.
play against a 2-1 and actually play.
Yes.
And then Sam gets the pair
Not like
down
the
and is
chain.
forced to play.
Oh, he's 3-0.
Yeah, he was 3-0, and he was like, man, I really want to split because I feel like I'm getting sick. It's like, I don't want to get the pair down. He gets pair down.
Of
He
course.
has to play.
How unlucky Sam Ives.
Yeah, he was very upset.
I think it's just because
He's usually upset about something.
But
I think it's just because he. Oh wow, that we can't see the paper right now, but it says "Hi everyone" with a smiley face. Did you see that someone was asking you to show off your Tiny Turns deck?
oh yeah, it is all foiled.
Is it all foil?
Yeah,
Wow.
every single card. See, I would never foil out a legacy deck because you can't get foil LEDs and stuff like that.
Sure.
Wait, would it just like drive you crazy seeing foils and non-foils together?
Yeah. But in the modern format, every card was printed with a modern border, so
Correct.
it is therefore available in foil.
Yep. Might
Like
not-
like the cards that are printed with modern border that aren't foil aren't legal. Like Ophiomancer. Like I can't get a foil one, but it doesn't
Baleful
matter.
Strix.
Yes.
Baleful
Yeah.
Strix.
True
That
Name
one,
Nemesis.
that one has to be coming. Like one of those cards.
a
True Name
promo?
Nemesis, Baleful Strix, or Charlotte's Agent.
Baleful
Like come
Strix.
on.
Or Containment
Baleful
Priest.
Strix would
Or
be
Containment Priest.
real good.
In modern? Oh no, none of them will be legal in modern.
No, but I mean,
the
it like has
foil
to be.
versions.
There
Oh,
has to
foil
be a
versions.
foil version
Oh, sure,
coming
sure,
at
sure.
some point.
Yep.
Okay.
Those cards are just too wildly played. Like if anything, it would probably be
They
True
should
Name
be
Nemesis
legal in
because
modern.
I,
Yeah, I think so.
the only one of those that could be like Containment Priest is completely fine in modern.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not interesting, but it's fine.
it stops non-tokens, therefore it still doesn't stop Twin.
Yep, doesn't stop Twin.
Does stop
Uh,
Goryo's
it's-
Vengeance.
It stops Goryo's Vengeance. It stops
Aether Vial.
Aether Vial.
Unbearable.
It stops Unburial. It stops Collecting Company.
Oh, that's cool.
Right?
What happened to all those decks?
Collecting Company.
Yeah.
People just realize that. I mean, like
The card is
here's
trash.
the thing. Most of there are very few tier 1 decks in modern, is what it comes down to. So like the reason you don't see a ton of Collecting Company, like, the reason you don't see a lot of anything is because almost everything is a tier 2 deck.
Yeah.
Like there's like I think tier 1 is like Jund, Blue Red Twin, Affinity, and probably Burn.
Sometimes.
Burn
sometimes.
sometimes, and I would probably say like either like Lantern or Amulet. Like those are probably like the best like non-interactive combo decks, and like
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like there's usually space for whatever combo deck people aren't really prepared for that weekend.
yeah, it just varies.
Yeah, because like your sideboard options in modern or your slots are
Sometimes
so
you just die.
taxed.
Yeah,
Yep, sometimes you die. Not much to do about it.
both players keeping their 6 after a scry. I think Nick definitely scried that Tendo Ice Bridge to the top, so Goblin Guy drew him an extra card, so he is unmulliganed already.
Sick.
Tendo Ice Bridge, not even going to put the counter on it because we got an Ancient Stirrings. See if we can find an amulet. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. We see just a bunch of bounce lands. Growth Chamber is the best bounce land in the deck.
Yeah, we'll probably see him take that.
Yeah, he could take that. He could take Gruul Turf. Gruul Turf is better post board if there's Fire Spout.
Looks like he has a Thragtusk in hand.
Ooh, Thragtusk is great. If he has a Summer Bloom, then this hand is going to be tough for Joe to beat. He didn't have Leyline though, which is great news for Joe.
Yes.
Oh, and Joe just drew a second Goblin Guide.
Yikes.
This is going to be a quick. Now it's up to him whether he wants to play this or Eidolon. I think you just play Goblin Guide always.
Yeah, it looks like Nick does not have Summer Bloom.
So attack. We see drawing
Oh,
Garrison
no.
and drawing Gemstone
I
Mine.
mean, Amulet plays a lot of lands.
Yep, it is one of the highest land counts in the format.
Isn't Garrison the one land you never want in your hand, though?
Garrison,
it's-
along with the sort of package, like Garrison, Stronghold,
Yeah,
are the
you
two ones you never really want to draw.
Yeah, like if you have there's usually room to play the Garrison and then get Vasuva.
Ooh, nope, we got a Summer Bloom. That's what that
Oh,
white
we
border
do have
card
Summer
is.
Bloom. Sweet. Well, this is good.
I've never
for,
seen that art before. What is that? 7th and
There's
9th?
a starter version.
Starter 99 Summer
Yeah.
Bloom. Wow, that looks
Ah.
awesome.
Yeah, it's a really cool
It's a
one.
folio. It's Kasha Folio.
Yeah.
All right, so
it's awesome.
So first extra land drop is Simic Growth Chamber. Second one's probably going to be another probably the Gruul Turf. Gruul Turf, and then we'll see either of these fair lands, Gemstone Mine or Tendo Icebridge, come into play. And next turn, Nick has Titan or Thragtusk,
Nice.
depending on what Joe does.
or Pact. Like he has Hive Mind. If he draws a Pact, he has Hive Mind.
Oh wow, this deck is just like this is
This deck is
stupid.
great.
That was turn 2.
No, yeah, I was considering building this deck for a long time, just mostly because of how much I love Primeval Titan.
Yeah, Primal Titan's a great Magic card.
And it's
I
like
think so.
this is kind of why like when people talk about like bans in regards to this deck, like I am of the opinion that it would be Summer Bloom over like Amulet of Vigor,
Yeah, I mean,
mainly because of this.
I think you can
Like I think
ban
without-
either, and it would be fine.
I think either works.
But I agree. I kind of agree, though. I think that some like the deck's still scary. Like you just play like a million Azuses then if Amulet's still legal, right?
Yeah,
but
that's
then
much
you
worse,
just
though.
It is.
get
It is
bolted.
much worse.
Like
with a trigger on the stack,
Yep.
just get them. I think it's fair to ban either card,
I agree.
and either will cripple the deck.
yes.
If you're going to do that, you should also ban. Goryo's Vengeance.
I agree.
Nick refusing to stop drawing cards, and he finally stopped with the Serum Visions.
both of those cards.
One really big benefit also, like in this matchup, is that Nick takes no damage off his lands.
Yes, and that is huge. You know, like Nick's down to 10. If he had, like whereas most decks would be at 6 or 7. Right
Yep.
now.
He does not have the Pact or Teleria West, so I think this turn we're just going to see him play Thragtusk.
Yeah, I like Thragtusk.
He could go Thragtusk, Bounce Land, go. He could play Primeval Titan. I think Titan might actually be better because he can get Vesuva Radiant Fountain. And it's a faster
I don't
clock.
hate that.
He's thinking about it right now. Yeah, I think we're going to see Titan
Yeah.
Titan for 2 lands.
Titan does seem better, I think.
I mean, you gain 1 less life, but the utility is better. Plus, you can. Well, you don't even need to gain 4. You do. You probably gain 4. Never mind, because then you could just bounce them next turn. You could like play a bounce land, return it, or something, or you can fetch up.
So you can get a pact next turn. Yeah.
You can't. I don't even know if you necessarily need that. I think this gain 4 is just going to be good enough.
It probably will be. I guess we'll see how. Nick has a lot of options on his next turn.
Yeah, like okay, so he has Thragtusk, which is another 5 life. He can attack with Titan, get a bounce land and get a bounce land and something else. Pick up the Radiant Fountain or the Vesuva and replay it. Often these decks are now playing 2 Vesuvas as well.
Okay.
So you can get Vesuva bounce land, Vesuva the Fountain, and then bounce land pick up the Fountain
Okay.
and play Fountain for turn.
Seems great.
This deck's scary. This deck's scary, man. Radiant Fountain OP. I built a lot of standard decks with several Radiant Fountains in them before I realized that it had rotated.
Yep.
And I realized that many of my decks were worse because of
Yes.
it. Radiant
That was
Fountain
not
is,
sad to see
Radiant
that
Fountain
go.
is so good. The Pearl Lake Ancient combo is my favorite.
Yeah, that is great.
It is great.
Slow, but great.
Yes. All right. Joe thinking right now what he wants to do here. He has Revelry, which has no targets, a Tarkus command, Boros Charm, and Helix, but he can't cast that command. He can if he attacks for 6. Nick probably blocks Goblin Guide. Let's see. All right, attack for 6.
Probably.
Triggers?
I mean, I really
So there's Amulet.
don't think. Okay, so that's just great. I don't think.
I think Amulet might let him kill him next turn.
Yeah, and at that
And
point,
that,
I think
you block Eidolon. If you're going to cast
Yeah,
Amulet,
if you're
you
gonna
definitely
cast
block this
Amulet,
Eidolon. Take 4, going to 10. This is going to be. I mean, he can attack for 16. I think he can double strike his
he
Titan.
Should be able to. Yes,
He might-
does have the Boros Garrison,
Oh, he's the Garrison in his hand.
but he has Amulet, so it's fine, right?
He could play it. Yeah.
Um,
This will mean he won't play Radiant Fountain though. All right, so he's going to play Amulet. That's step 1.
and here you can Garrison, like pick up.
Probably
Doesn't
Radiant.
even matter. Radiant Fountain.
Oh, he's just going to go straight to attacks. Trigger. Let's see what he gets here. I'm very curious. I mean, here's the thing. There's not much benefit to 16ing Joe because it doesn't kill him.
Yeah.
Oh, Joe is actually at 17, I think. Because he fetched and shocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is
So,
not super powerful. I mean, like,
well, I don't think it really matters because he has the mana to activate like Slayer Stronghold or
but you don't need to get Slayer Strong. Sunhome is the one that
Sunhome,
you'd
sure,
consider getting. So, okay, he is going to get Sunhome. So those are both going to untap. He has a return trigger. Probably going to go float a mana with Radiant Fountain and return that. All right, so he Sunhomes his Titan.
he does have to return.
Yeah, and he returns Radiant Fountain. This will let him play Radiant Fountain and then play Thragtusk. So this is a 16-point swing. Joe's going to 1. Maybe you do. Actually, I think putting him to 1 is completely reasonable.
I also think it's completely reasonable.
I mean, it's certainly good. All right, so and then he
It's
gets to
also
go.
possible that like he should have like given. Maybe he should not have blocked the Eidolon. Like I don't think it really matters from this point.
Yeah,
But,
well, Thragtusk is an absolute beating. Yeah, Joe has no skull crack and he's just dead here. Oh boy, man, Amulet is just.
And here we see like
So good.
You know, a lot of people. You know, I've had some people. You know, we've had discussions about Amulet, and some people have talked about or bring up just like bringing in ways to kill Amulet,
Mhm.
and like there we see like Destructive Revelry
No
sat in
targets.
his hand the whole game.
Didn't do
and,
anything.
Nick was probably going to win that game, even if he didn't draw the Amulet.
Oh yeah.
He was looked quite favored from that.
No,
spot,
like
even
he
without the
it just
Amulet.
took a full turn off the clock, but it didn't
Yeah.
even matter. He was just like, no matter what, he had the Thrag Tusk. Even if he didn't, he could have gone and gotten a Teleria West and probably just he could have high-minded the next turn.
Mm-hmm.
He had so many options. I mean, really, what it came down to is that he had turn 2 Summer Bloom, he had multiple bounce lands, he had turn 3 Titan. Like
Mm-hmm.
the deck does when you turn 3 Titan someone, you are real favored. Shocker. Turn 3 6/6 that gives you like 1,000 mana, especially in that deck, and it also happened to gain him 6 life between the Radiant Fountain, Vesuva Radiant Fountain, and then when he bounced and played it again, like unbelievable. I was a little I thought he was like maybe incorrect to play the Thragtusk there, but I was very wrong about that. You definitely just want Titan in play as early as possible.
Yeah, I think so.
Titan is just so good. God,
That's very good.
but yeah, Amulet's great. I'm going to start testing that deck and possibly play it in Pittsburgh. I think I should. I think it's great. I think it's just so
How
good.
much does that deck cost?
What
are the expensive
Azusa
cards?
is an expensive card.
Okay.
Packs are medium expensive.
Okay.
Summoner's Pact is 15 to 20. Azusa is like 40, 50.
Play 2 Azusas?
No.
Oh yeah.
No, I'll say don't play him.
Why?
You
Because you don't want to play against it. In any
You
case,
should play Amulet.
maybe you should. No, he's gonna play John.
I went 4.
Are you going to Pittsburgh?
I'm going to Pittsburgh and I'm playing John. I went 4.
What weekend is Pittsburgh?
He declined the split.
Pittsburgh is the
21st, 22nd, and 23rd.
weekend before Thanksgiving. I found a $160 flight round trip.
Nice.
So I was like, mize. I was literally just like looking at flights. I'm like, my friend was like, are you going to Pittsburgh? And I'm like, I don't know, man. And I looked at flights and I was like, 160.
Yep, going
Okay,
to Pittsburgh.
guess I'm in. And it was the last flight at that price, so I daggered Greg Schaefer out of the next one. So it was just like all oozing with value.
Yeah.
Just shockingly value. But yeah, I will be there. I will be slinging some modern cards, and I'm at this point pretty likely to play Amulet, unless I find out that I don't like the deck very much. We'll see. Modern's weird. Like, there's not going to be any bannings until then, so the format, like what we see right now, is going to be how it is. There might be maybe a Modern Open for Star City games between then. I don't think there's not a Grand Prix. There's not a Grand Prix until then, because especially the way Wizards have sort of aligned their schedule, the way they tend to do it is whenever there are multiple Grand Prix, when there are Grand Prix in multiple places on a weekend, they try to make them all the same format. So I don't think there's a Modern Grand Prix until then. This weekend is Quebec City, which is standard. Next weekend is Indianapolis, which is standard. Weekend after that is Seattle, which is Legacy, which is which I didn't buy a ticket for, and I really want to still, because Legacy's the best.
Legacy is.
It's not
best.
nothing is the best, but Legacy is awesome.
It is great.
Yeah. But I will not. I don't think I'm going to be going to Seattle, unfortunately. It's okay. In any case, it's going to wrap up our stream. I think we've seen enough of Degenerate Combo for tonight.
I think so.
I love it. I'm down with it.
Why would you play anything else?
Good question. Just to reiterate our streaming schedule for those unaware, Mondays we have nothing. Tuesdays 7:30 we have Draft. Wednesday 7:30 you see us here. We do Modern. Thursday 7:30 we do Legacy. All here at MTG Card Market in Chicago, Illinois. We have everything that's going to be. We've had a bit of a lag in posting these videos to YouTube. That will start again starting tonight. Everything will be available on our YouTube page as well as as video on demand for the time being that Twitch hosts them. Come and rewatch some of these streams. But yep, there's a lot of original content on mtgcardmarket.com. Check out some articles there. A lot of real good players on there writing some good content. Mm-hmm. Some video content is ramping up there. I know Steve Dang, who often pops in for commentary, is going to be doing some draft videos on there, which is sweet.
Yeah, we're actually both going to be doing those.
Oh, sweet.
We've had failures so far.
It happens. In any case, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, follow the stream, so you can find out when we are streaming. In fact, you get a notification. We would do this 3 times a week, and we love building our follower base, make this as accessible to everyone as possible. Thanks again for tuning in. Wouldn't be possible without you, and we'll see you tomorrow night for some Legacy action.